The Princess Switched Again is the brand new Netflix original film sequel to the 2018 film The Princess Switch, and once again stars Vanessa Hudgens now playing three different roles. Also stars Sam Palladino, Nick Segar back from the first one. And this film is about when Duchess Margaret unexpectedly inherits the throne to Montenegro. It hits a rough patch with Kevin. It's up to her double date Stacy to save the day before a new lookalike party girl Fiona foils their plans. Once again, this movie is an hour and 36 minutes and is PG. Welcome back to brand new movie review, Netflix review here on Max Talk Movies. My name is Max Dinenberg. Before we get into this Princess Switch sequel review, please consider hitting that like button. That's one of the best ways to support this YouTube channel for the algorithm so more people can check out this content. Also, please let me know in the comment section your thoughts of this film. First of all, if you've seen this sequel to Princess Switch, tell me which one do you like better? Do you like this sequel? Do you like they even made a sequel? And do you want a third film in this franchise? If you haven't seen this film, let me know. Have you seen the first one? If you haven't seen the first one, you can see the first one, then the second one for this movie. So tell me all of that in the comment section down below, and let's get into this review. So honestly, guys, I was not happy about watching this movie because I absolutely did not like the first film. It was in my bottom 10 of 2018. And Netflix this year has been really busy making their sequels. Obviously, it's basically in a 2 or 3 year period in 2017 to 18, a lot of their original movies really boomed. And that's why we're getting all of these sequels this year, just this year alone. We've already had The Kissing Booth 2. We've already had To All the Boys sequel. We've already had The Babysitter sequel, all thrown into the mix here. So, and we're already hearing Extraction 2, possibly a Enola Holmes sequel. So there's so much going on for Netflix with their sequels. And another one that just can't hit it for me is this one again. Once again, though, The Princess Switch stars Vanessa Hudgens in the first movie. And again, if you have not seen the first one, I am going to give mild spoilers. So if your plan, again, I'm not going to spoil the entire first movie, but there'll be mild spoilers because, again, you kind of have to watch the first movie if you want to care about this movie at all. So if you haven't seen any of these films, you got to go back and watch the first one, then the second one, if you care about this franchise. So Vanessa Hudgens in the first one just played two people. In this movie, because it's a sequel, we need her playing another person who is Fiona, who basically is Margaret's cousin. So that is the big twist in this movie. Once again, they do have to switch, but Fiona is added to the mix to really energize the movie. I do enjoy Vanessa Hudgens, and now every year she's kind of now become the new Netflix person. The last 3 years now in a row, she has come out with a Netflix original Christmas movie. The past 3 years now, we're on a 3 consecutive year streak with those films. So she obviously is, Netflix is certainly enjoying her, and I enjoy her as well. I don't think she's one of the worst parts about this franchise. She's one of the bright spots, if not, she makes some of these movies watchable with her performances. She's not a bad actress whatsoever. But yes, as I said earlier, the 3 consecutive films in 2018, she starred in The Princess Switch. And then last year, she starred in The Night Before Christmas. And now we're back here with The Princess Switch, Switched Again. So overall, guys, I really think Vanessa Hudgens is easily the bright spot of the movie. Really, her 2 characters that she brings back from the first one are actually sometimes a little bit better, I would say, than they were portrayed in the first movie. I actually liked the 2 characters this time. In the first one, I felt they were making the wrong decisions, that they were tough to root for. And here they were making, again, very decisions that doesn't really make a lot of sense. And there's in there to make some kind of conflict in this movie. But she's back as Margaret. Margaret really is the center stage of the movie. Now, yes, all 3 are kind of interwoven. And once again, it's a big deal between the switch of Margaret's character and Stacy. But as you see in the poster, it's really about Margaret's about to become the Queen of Montenegro. So I think I've said that. Yeah, Montenegro. So that's obviously the main storyline going on. It's all revolving her becoming the queen. And Fiona is the new addition. She seems a little crazy. Obviously, it's a family member who didn't get the crown, so you kind of know what to expect with her character. But again, this movie definitely knows what it is. And that was the main positive with really both these movies, that they know exactly what they are. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? That's the thing I'll talk about in a little bit. But it knows exactly what it is. It's playing for families. And it's weird because it's PG, but I wouldn't see like little kids really loving these movies. I just don't know. I haven't really talked to anyone about these two movies because I guess people saw them because here we are getting a sequel. But just in general, Vanessa Hudgens is really good. I enjoy her in most, if not all, of her movies that she's in, even though a lot of her movies have not worked out this year. She was in Bad Boys for Life this year, which was a big step for her, in my opinion. So she continues to grow, but Netflix seems to be her era. As I said earlier, the returning cast is back. Sam Palladio, he plays Edward, who is Vanessa Hudgens, Stacy's husband, back from the first one, and then Nick Segar is back because he played Kevin, and Kevin ended up with Princess Margaret at the end of the first movie. And we hear in this movie, saying not a spoiler, in this movie they break up and they need to bring back because Stacy wants to bring Kevin back because it's her inauguration. See if anything flares up again between the two of them, and that's when this movie is. Again, there's a big switch again because it's called Switched again. And let's get into this negative. This is, again, not a good movie, just like the first one, and a bad one at that, and a pretty much a mess. As I said, I think some of the characters improve on the first and some don't. For example, in this movie, one of our main characters, again, they make the switch and they tell certain people that they're making the switch, just like in the first one. But in this one, there's a huge person that they don't tell that they probably should have told. To really not mess up this entire movie. I get the person that they don't tell, but the person that they really don't tell in this movie doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And you're kind of feeling bad for this character, even though you're supposed to be rooting for our main character, but our main character are throwing this one character under the bus, and it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I was kind of rooting for his character the most throughout the movie. Nick Segar's back as Kevin. Kevin is charming as ever, really smooth again. In this movie, has a lot more to do, I would say, in this one. He has a lot more time with Margaret in this one, because obviously in the first one, he didn't know he was with Margaret, but he was with Margaret in the first one. But he gets a lot more to do. Fiona is one of my main issues with the movie. It's not really like Vanessa Hudgens did a bad job, but it just feels like because we have a sequel, it feels so forced in that we need her to be a third character, a third different person in the movie. It just didn't feel necessary. You never felt like Fiona was an actual threat to Margaret or even Stacy during this movie. And she has this kind of, I don't know if it's the score, whatever music they play when she's on screen. It's so cheesy and terrible. And I hate it because every time she pops on screen, they play this one little piece of score / music, and it just doesn't work. I mean, it does not work. It's very cheesy. Pulls me out of the movie for that little bit as well. And this movie, as of course, just like the first one, is very predictable. Again, I saw no promotion for this movie. I didn't want to see a trailer because I didn't want to really drown myself in negativity because I really didn't like the first one. I was like, I have to watch this, so I'm not going to watch the trailer. Just watch it, see if anything surprises me. And it kind of doesn't. Once you see all three characters interact with each other for the first time, you kind of know exactly where the movie is going to go. It does, though, take a while for the actual switch to happen. Really, in the first one, the first 15, 20 minutes, we're already there. They already met each other, are going to do a switch. This movie takes a bit of a longer time to actually get to the actual switch. And then it has a very cheesy rom-com-y ending that this movie definitely did not need. It doesn't, again, common sense for this movie is thrown out the window on a lot of occasions, which, again, I don't really like. Again, I get it. The movie doesn't want to take itself seriously, and that's okay. But at times you do need some common sense. And this movie throws that out the door. Again, same director, same writers, same cast. If you didn't enjoy the first one, just like me, you're not going to enjoy this one. So overall, guys, The Princess Switched again, the new Netflix original film. I will give a 1.5 out of 5 at 27%, guys. I really didn't enjoy this movie. I would say this movie is an improvement by a little bit. I gave both movies a 1.5. I was around like the 25, 24% range for the first one. This is around like a 28, 29% range, closing on 30 for this movie. So I would say this is a bit of an improvement because I like the ending a bit more than the first one, but that's not really saying a lot. They both have basically the same 1.5 out of 5 scores. So again, I don't highly recommend this franchise. It seems like they're going to make a third one, which again, hopefully not, but if they do, I'll review it here for this YouTube channel. So once again, thank you guys for joining me for this review. Please be sure to hit that like button and comment down below. Do you agree with my opinion? Disagree? Do you actually love this franchise? I would love to know if you actually love this franchise and want more from this franchise going forward on Netflix. Let all your thoughts, non-spoiler fashion, in the comment section down below. Also, please subscribe and ring that bell for a lot more notifications. Now, a very slow start to the month for original movies, but now as we're heading towards Thanksgiving, a lot more movies are coming out in the end of the month. I've already reviewed Jingle Jangle this month. I've already reviewed the Lego Star Wars special, so you can check all those reviews out as well. Go down a rabbit hole on my YouTube channel. More reviews coming, so please ring that bell to be notified when I do a next review. Thank you guys so much for this review. I'll see you guys in the next one.